Hey everyone, it's Hallie and Lauren, and today we are going to go over and show you exactly how to find a rental property here in the Denver area. So we are licensed realtors here in Colorado. We would love to help you with all your real estate needs, but in order to find a rental here in Denver, you really don't need a realtor. You can tour properties by yourself. It's not like it is in the buying and selling market. Everything's listed on, public websites like Zillow and things like that. So you really can find it on your own and tour it on your own, and there's not really a lot to it. Yeah, so we're going to go over some tips for how to find a rental, how to avoid rental scams, and, what you can do to, in a competitive situation, put you to the top of landlord's list.
Yeah, get that application in there, and yeah, it's exciting.
So if you have any questions, though, we are always able, we would love to help you answer those questions, even if it is about renting. Call the number below, call, text us, send us an email, and we're always able to help.
Yeah.
And, renting, we get it. Like, you might want to move here for a while, see what areas you like before you buy. So
we can help you with that for sure.
Yeah. There's a guide for that. And when you are ready to buy, we hope you call us.
Yeah. So let's kick it off with the Denver rental market. What does, the average median rent look like here? So according to Zillow and rent.com, they are estimating that the median rent here in the Denver metro is almost $2,200 a month. That is pretty high. The national average is around $1,800.
Wow.
So we are significantly higher, and it has gone up, over the past couple of years. 60% of the Denver metro, your one-bedroom apartment each month is around $2,000 a month. So it is higher.
Yeah. Housing in Denver is unfortunately just not cheap.
No.
Rent, whether you're renting or buying, it's just not.
There are, there's places where rent is going to be cheaper than others. So you're more cheaper, towns, neighborhoods are going to be places like areas of Inglewood, Aurora, Thornton. Those places are going to be cheaper. Yes. You can find some good rentals in Lakewood for a little bit more inexpensive. I was browsing sites. Maybe you could find a couple around the 1,900 mark. That's going to be more like a studio apartment. And then you're going to have more expensive areas like the Highlands near downtown Denver. Lodo is going to be more expensive. Yeah. Cherry Creek is also going to be more expensive.
Areas around Boulder, of course, are more expensive. Now it's in College Town. But anyway, so we really think that the best way to look for rentals is through Zillow. It just is the best way. So you go for rent. And the best thing about Zillow is it really pulls most of your options from a lot of different websites. So like Trulia and Zillow are kind of connected, and then it pulls, apartments.com and all kinds of other, I've noticed that it's just the widest variety is through Zillow. You can set up a search, and I'm going to actually in a bit dive in, and I'll show you exactly how to set up your rental search through Zillow and how to apply through Zillow and all the benefits to that.
Yeah.
One here is your how to search for and apply for rental homes on the Zillow website. Zillow, like we said, is the most comprehensive website to find rental properties in the Denver area. Let's go to Zillow.com and click rent. And then there we have all these purple dots are all rental listings. So you get apartment complexes, they also advertise on Zillow, and you get single family homes with private landlords. So you get both, you can compare and contrast and see what's available. So you would go and click your price, I would just put your max rental budget in there. So let's say $4,000 could get you a pretty decent place here in the metro area. However many beds and baths. If you don't care, put any. If you don't care, just leave it blank. I would recommend, in order to see what's out there, get the biggest selection for yourself. First, just make it a very broad search. Then you can also select, if you don't want to live in an apartment, you only want to live in a house, you can change all that up. And Zillow has this new feature, which is a room. So you can actually, if you're just looking to rent out a room from somebody and have a roommate situation, you can search for that on here as well. This is a new feature, so I actually haven't used it that much yet, or I don't know how many listings are on there. But it'd be a good place to start if you're looking for something temporary or something really, a lot more budget friendly. Then you have your more for move-in date. If your move-in date is flexible, leave the move-in date blank. You don't want to weed things out. So I would just honestly leave the move-in date blank and then search for properties that are move-in, have a move-in date that's close with your move-in date. Landlords, like if they have a listing that's ready to be moved into right now, it's sitting vacant, they're probably not going to want to wait 2 months and miss out on 2 months of rental income for you to move in. So keep that in mind. If there's a place you really love, you might have to pay, move in sooner, or you risk losing it and having to find somewhere else. But there's always rentals coming up. Rentals do go with the seasonality of the buying and selling housing market. So you're typically going to be able to get a cheaper rental rate in the wintertime, and then rates kind of will go up a little bit March, April, May, maybe June. But this time of year, January, February, it's going to be lower. So you can set your square footage, year built, basement. This is where you can select ones that allow pets, have AC. There are still some areas and places in the Denver metro that don't have AC. So if you are living in the metro area, I would recommend getting a place with AC, especially if it's an apartment that's on like the second or third story. Those get really hot in the summertime. Okay, so here I'm going to talk to you about the accept Zillow applications. So I'll show you just how many accept them. Like, it's a lot. And it's a really great feature because you pay $35 and you can fill out the application. So like, let's say this isn't a great picture, but let's say I wanted to apply to this place. So I would click apply now. And you basically fill this all in. You can even upload your W-2s and what other info they ask from you. And then you just click submit application and it'll go to the landlord or property manager or whoever. Now, once you've filled out the Zillow application one time, you can submit this application to as many different listings that accept the Zillow applications as you want, like as many as you want. And it's good for 30 days. You pay $35 per application fee. If you are renting with somebody, you both need to fill it out. So you each pay $35, but again, you can apply to as many as you want. And if there are properties out there, a lot of properties won't accept the Zillow application. They have their own application process. You're going to have to fill out their application and you're going to have to pay their application fee. Application fees can be higher than $35 for sure. I've seen $60 to $80 to $100 per application. So, which can be hard. You don't want to keep paying that if you're not going to really move into a place. So that's why the Zillow application thing is great. And like I said, as a private landlord, when I get the Zillow application and it's completely filled out, those people go to the top of my list because I know they're serious renters. I can tell if they're qualified from their application and I have all their information. So they just go to the top of my list. All right. So once you filled out the application one time, then I'm not going to do it because I don't want to pay $35. I'm not actually looking for a rental. But this button here will then say apply or send application or something like that. And so then you just click that button and it'll come up, it'll send a generic message like this. But what you want to do is add it. If it's a rental house you really like, add a personal message. Say, hello, I love this house. I would love the opportunity to see it. Please call me, give your phone number, let them know when you'd be available. Okay. So it's optional. So yeah, just write a personal message and click send along with sending your application. All right. And then the other thing that I would really recommend is if you scroll down, you can see, okay, so this one in particular is listed by the property owner. So, and there's a phone number there. So in addition to sending your application and a personalized message, call this number, call them, and then text them. Send a quick text, give your name, say you're interested in whatever address and that you want a tour. And that is the best way to, again, it's as a landlord, whenever I put a property up first for rent, I get a million robots calling me. I get spam calls. I get people that I don't know are serious. And people, unfortunately, have been very flaky. They say they're going to meet me out there to look at the house and they don't show up and they don't call me. They don't even tell me they're not coming. So in order to make sure that I'm not wasting my time going out to show the house anymore, I always want to talk to somebody on the phone and do that for your safety as well. Try to talk to these people on the phone. Do not go out and meet people at houses that you don't know without, at least talking to them on the phone. So that would be my recommendation and a way to get ahead in all this and actually get a call back. Property management companies, like we said, are going to take forever to call you back. If they call you back, I don't know what it is. If real estate doesn't work out for us, I could probably make a lot of money opening a property management company.
All right, so that's basically it. Let me know if you have other questions.
So in Colorado, there's two kind of categories of rentals. There's big apartment complexes,
Right.
that are owned, by big corporations like Greystar. They are going to be much more strict on, their applications. Like, I think it's you have to make 3 times what the rent is. So if the rent is $2,000, you have to make $6,000 a month in order to qualify.
Right.
You and whoever,
Yes.
whether you're by yourself or if it's 2 of you or 3 of you that are that are going to be on the lease, but your income has to be 2.5 to 3 times the
Chunk of money.
Yeah. Or you could get a cosigner, but there's requirements for your cosigner as well. It's really kind of strict.
Yes.
And I think we're reading that you need to have a credit score of at least like 570. And if you're younger, you're just starting out.
Right.
I did read that if you have no credit, it's not going to disqualify you, but they will charge you a higher security deposit.
Right. So all things to keep in mind in terms of qualifications when you're filling out that application.
Yeah. And typically what it is to move in is the security deposit is equal to 1 month's rent. So if rent is $2,000 a month, your security deposit's typically going to be $2,000 also. So you would need $4,000 in order to move in.
Right.
And if you want to get your security deposit back at the end of the lease, a good rule of thumb is make sure the apartment, the house is in the same condition, cleanliness-wise also. Because a lot of landlords will take out money if they have to have the carpets clean, or, anything like that. They'll take it out of your security deposit if they have to go in and clean it. So leave it clean, patch nail holes, any of that kind of stuff. Make sure everything's in the same condition as when you moved in. And you should have no problem getting your security deposit back.
Definitely. When I rented years ago, I made sure to take pictures of the property as soon as I stepped into it. Save those pictures. And then I took more once I had moved out and I had had everything cleaned. So it was very aware what it looked like in the condition before and how I left it.
Yes. And then if you're renting from a private landlord, which a lot of times, if you're looking at single family homes, most of those are rented out by private landlords.
Right.
So they're not all owned by a big corporation. Many of these landowners, landlords use property management groups to get these rented out. And I will tell you guys, the property management, I have not found a great one in all of Denver. I don't know of one. Sometimes they put really crappy photos online. They take forever to call you back. If they call you back, they take forever to email you back. It's a pain in the, what. But my tips for you are, if there's a phone number listed on the listing, call the phone number. Call the phone number, say you're interested in this, this, and this, and please call you back. Right. If you don't get a call back, I would call again. You have to, make yourself stand out.
Be the squeaky wheel.
Yes. And that's how you get, unfortunately, I don't know what it is. I really don't. I don't know what it is with these property management companies and why they make it so difficult, but they do. And I know they do.
Well, and then it's difficult too when you're in the rental and you need a repair. You have to call that property management company to get that scheduled. And when they don't pick up the phone or they're not, timely, that's frustrating. If your heater goes out, dishwasher goes out.
Right. And there's a lot of, I'm a private landlord and I have a rental in Castle Rock, and we don't use, I'm a realtor, so we don't use a property management company. They just call us if there's something goes wrong. And there are lots of other rentals out there like that. So I don't want to, which are kind of the best, because if you find a good landlord. And as a landlord myself, what I'm looking for in tenants, two things. I have 2 concerns. Number 1, I want to make sure my tenant is going to pay me rent, because I need that rental money to pay the mortgage. I kind of depend on that money to pay my bills. Right. So I need to make sure that I find someone who is going to be reliable in paying rent. And the reason, what I look for, job stability and, unfortunately, credit score. I personally, credit score, it doesn't say everything. And if you do have a bad credit score, give us a call, because I can give you some tips on how to work around that. But I do look at credit score because it's an example of how financially responsible someone has been. Unfortunately, it just is. When you don't know, we don't have a lot of other things to go off of. Right. Credit score is an indicator of how
sound the applicant is going to be.
So, and then the other top concern that I have as a landlord is I want to make sure that my tenants are not going to mess up my house. That they're not going to be doing illegal things in my house, that they're not going to be destroying it.
Yes.
And putting holes in the walls. So there's two main concerns. The thing you want to do as an applicant is ease those landlords' concerns. That you're a responsible person, you're going to take care of their property.
Yes.
And you're going to pay them rent.
Yes.
And you'll have no issue finding the rental that you want.
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm going to dive in and show you exactly how to fill out those applications. And about the Zillow thing, so if you fill out applications on Zillow, there's Zillow Applications. And if you fill this out, it's a one-time $35 fee that you pay, but then you can use that Zillow application to apply to any listing on Zillow that accept the Zillow application.
Correct.
So not all the listings are going to accept it. A lot, especially if they're using property managers, will make you fill out the application through their property management website. And in case, then you'll have to pay another $35 or whatever the application fee is, which again is super annoying. I get it. It's annoying.
Yep.
But it unfortunately is the way it is.
Yep.
So,
yep.
But filling out that Zillow application is a great way to put yourself to the top of the list.
Yes.
A lot of private landlords like myself, Zillow makes it very easy. I use the Zillow applications.
Yep.
And then when I get an applicant that's already filled out the Zillow application, then I have their credit score or their background check, and I know that they're a more serious applicant.
Absolutely. And then that application is good for 30 days, that $35 fee, and then you would have to do it again. But you can fill out as many applications on Zillow in those 30 days.
Yep. Anyone that takes the Zillow applications, you're good to go.
Yep.
With just paying it once.
It's very efficient and really,
it's a really cool feature. It's a cool feature. Now, apartment complexes do not take those Zillow.
Right.
I mean, I haven't looked at, there might be some out there, but typically they have their own, especially if they're owned by like Greystar, a large corporation.
Yeah.
You're going to have to pay an application fee every time for every different one.
Yes.
Which is annoying. Oh, and the other thing is really cool nowadays is you don't need a realtor really to tour most apartments or homes for rent.
Right.
There's an app called Rently, and you can, this is the Rently app. These are all homes for rent in the Denver area. And if you just download the app, take a picture of your driver's license, you can actually self-tour these. They will send you codes. Yep, there's a lockbox on the door. You can go whenever you want. You don't have to have any realtor with you.
Yep.
And you can go tour the homes by yourself whenever works for you. Yeah. So that's kind of a cool thing. Again, it's called Rently. And there's probably some other apps too.
Probably,
But that's the main one that I use. And as you can see, it's very popular here in Denver. There's
a lot of rentals popped up.
Yeah. And you can walk into any apartment complex. A lot of the apartment complexes also advertise and put listings on Zillow. Yeah. So again, why we say Zillow is really an overall great place to see what's available.
Yes.
Because it has both. It has the private landlords, it has the property management, and it has, the big apartment complexes are also on there.
Definitely.
Cool. So, all right. So rental scams, a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Everyone, and it is a scary thing. And man, sometimes they do it and it's so scary.
Yeah.
They even have access to the house somehow.
Yeah.
And will show you the house.
It's crazy.
You always want to talk to people. You want to talk to people on the phone.
Yes.
You want to meet them in person if possible. I know it can be hard if you're moving from out of state, but you always want to double verify. So if you see a house listed for rent on Zillow, right? Call the phone number, get the information, make sure you can go see the home or at least do a virtual tour of the home. And it's always a red flag if someone's like, oh, send me the money. You never want to do that. And if anything feels weird, don't do it.
Don't send money.
Do not do it. Do not send money. Never send money unless they should send you the lease, and you should review the lease and be able to sign that and have move-in dates and all that. And again, it is so helpful. You got to talk to somebody on the phone or see them in person. And then what I like to do is, if a house is listed for rent, make sure that it's listed. If they have a website, go to that property management website and make sure it's also on that website, separately.
Yeah. Double verify.
Yeah. So if you see it on Zillow or something, then go to the website and make sure it's also there on their actual website, the property management actual website.
Right.
Yeah, just be aware, be careful, and don't send money, without talking and meeting people. I don't know how they do it, but the thieves They're getting smart.
They really are. They really are. And if you have other questions, do call us. Call us, because we,
I would pretty much know what's a scam and what's not.
Yeah.
So if you think you're being scammed, give us a call. Yeah. And we'd be happy to make sure that you're not.
We know where to look. All right. So just a quick reminder, we are licensed real estate agents in the state of Colorado. Please feel free to reach out to us at our number, email listed below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And we appreciate you guys tuning in.
Yeah, we hope this was helpful. We know rentals, it's not very fun.
It can be difficult to navigate.
It's going to be time consuming, but we hope this video helps. And if you have any questions, reach out. We're happy to
call us.
Yeah,
Definitely. We'll see you guys again soon, and thanks for tuning in.